So the concept of this video is the push and pull emotion between following your head or following your heart. On one side of the screen you'll see the character. He's very depressed, very pessimistic about life, and he's really stuck in that negative, limited mindset. And on the right hand side you have the complete opposite. It's a very vibrant, vivid life. He has a very positive, take things as they come mindset. And the whole concept really is the contrast between these two characters who are really two halves of one whole. And it's a nice little idea really. I find if you get trapped in a really negative mindset, and if you're always looking at things in a negative perspective, then your life is going to seem more dreary and things are really going to push you back. Whereas if you've got a more positive handle on things, you get to see the silver lining of your bad days. The first thing I noticed with the cinematography is the spot on framing in a lot of the early shots. They are exactly the same size, exactly the same lens. Even as things veer away from being exactly matched, the setups are very, very similar. So that contrast and dichotomy is going throughout the whole video. It's nice that we go between the match cuts and then the different shots. It's showing that the concept is running parallel throughout the whole video, but the path is starting to veer off. The cinematography and the art direction go together really, really well in here. They've boosted the lighting, made things flatter, made things just more shimmery, and that makes the optimistic setup look great. Whereas by desaturating the grade, by lowering the lighting and making it a little bit more dreary and grey, that provides that mood, but it's just that. You'll notice that the shots are mostly static to start with. They move, but it's more of a technical tool than a creative choice. For example, you see POV shots or we're moving back as the character's walking, but there isn't any real stylization to the movement until we get to the midway point where the characters collide, they meet each other, and the course is corrected almost. The pessimistic guy is going to learn how to be more optimistic and how to live like this guy he wants to be, the other half of his whole. The cinematography in the performance setup is also really nice, much more pop and commercial kind of look. But the real vibrant colours and the pastels, which kind of tie in as well with the narrative, it's a nice way to bring everything together and really have the two setups playing off of each other. The colour grade is one of the first things you'll notice when watching this video. Immediately, the first shot, you see the left side of frame is very desaturated, it's very flat, whereas the right side of frame is really super saturated and just more bold and vibrant. And that immediately links to the concept, the good versus bad day, positive versus negative mindset. The art direction is really nice in terms of the props. In the opening shots you have the two bedside tables. One of them is minimal, just has like the alarm clock, maybe a couple of other little bits underneath. Whereas the other one feels more homely. It shows he's more confident in who he is. He's settled, he's comfortable, he's ready to live life to the full. Whereas the minimalist flat that the character has, it feels much more he's at a place in his life where he's not comfortable, he's unsettled. Total complete opposite to the other side of frame. And that's nice. Again, it's just making sure that the concept trickles down into every department and every detail has been thought of here. And Alex Gregory, who did this colour grade, is a genius to be able to have so much of a transformation within the shots, like the workplace, whereas not too much has been changed in terms of the actual location, but just that colour grade really amps everything up. And the shot where the two characters meet, it's almost a meet in the middle for the colour grade as well. The vibrancy is there, the vivid colours are there still, but things feel much more realistic. This is almost, okay, they're cancelling each other out, but the positive guy's winning a little bit. And it's that momentary realisation that there are grey areas in our mood and emotions, so that's a really nice way to reflect that. Every day is not going to be a fairy tale walk in the park, but it doesn't have to be this thunderous downpour of depression either. Almost immediately you'll see the styling is either end of the scale. One guy has these very blue, almost prison pyjamas on, whereas the other character has this beautiful peach and pink colours, and it's just a great introduction to the characters themselves and the concept that's unfolding. I love the pastel aesthetic that runs through the video too. It feels very anachronistic. It has that almost sex education vibe where we can't quite place the time period with some of the props and some of the styling, but it is that absolute fantasy dream world where everything is literally perfect. They're not trying to say in the concept that things are going to be perfect every day, but it is an extreme example of the mindsets warring against each other.
Oh my God, when I see you I should run. But I'm frozen in
right, so in terms of editing, the split screen is obviously a really big point of focus for this video. I think it's really effective when the two sides of the frame start cutting at different intervals. It really gives you time to go over to one side of frame and see what's happening there before the other side of frame changes. It's nice that the shots change in a dynamic order. You're not waiting for each to match and only looking at half of the shots. You have time to really let your brain and your eyes follow the narrative. I think also on the left side of frame, if I'm not mistaken, things are a lot slower. The cuts don't happen at such regular intervals. Things are going much slower for the character on the left who's following his head. He's much more in his head, and for that reason things are moving at a slower pace. He's uncertain about where he's going. Whereas on the other side of the screen, he is just bolting through different setups. Things are happening boom, 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 and he's just living their life and just really getting on with things. The shot where the characters meet and the split screen gets pushed out of frame, I think that's a really nice transition. It doesn't just cut from split screen to boom, things are in the same world now. It really shows the progression of the pessimistic character really getting on board with having a more positive mindset, and this meeting is obviously something that's really important. Thank you for watching. We'll have a new video every week, so make sure to like and subscribe down below, and I'll see you next time.